Hi, my name is Dory, and I am here to show you how to enter your timesheet and also how to request time off. Already, you should have been in contact with HR and probably have already gone into the Paycor system to do some onboarding paperwork. Uh, if you have not, check your email and see if you've received anything yet that would have your login information. I'm going to go ahead and log in. All right, I am in and I am looking at the home dashboard right now. I would highly recommend when you have time to go ahead and look through all this information. There's a ton of great info on here that HR puts together, and it would make a lot of sense to, on your downtime, peruse through. Okay, to enter time and request those days off, I'm going to end up going under the Me. So I'm simply hovering and clicking on time and attendance. And this will take me to the home dashboard for doing time and attendance and requesting PTO or time off. All right, so we are loaded up here and I can see recent activity of time that I've entered into the system, and I can also see recent status of time off requests. This was one in the past for some PTO I took off, and it was approved. What's great is when I enter time off and when my supervisor responds, both will come in an email for me. So I know instantly if I'm good to go or if I need to make other arrangements. Okay, we're going to go into how to enter our time first. So I'm going to click on Worksheet here, and we're going to see the current week, and I have options here to go in a previous week. I can go into next week, and I can go into this week. So I'm going to go into previous week here, and we can see the time that's been entered. I can go another previous week, and I can go back pretty far actually. What I wanted to show you here though is what it looks like on days where it's a holiday or you've requested time off. If you are getting paid for a different way, which is again PTO request or a holiday, you don't enter time on those days unless you physically worked on that day. So on this particular week, I had Monday and Tuesday off, so I left those boxes empty, and then I entered my time for the remainder of the week that I was actually there. So let's see what this looks like. I'm going to click on this week. And I've actually put in some time already. I'm going to play with Sunday here to show you how to enter that time. So let's say I worked 4 hours on Sunday. So I'm simply typing a 4 in the box, and I'll click and I'll wait for that number to enter in the summary field. Okay, so here we have entered our time worked. It is that simple. If I made an error, I didn't work on Sunday or I worked less time on that day, what I want to do is first put in a 0 to clear that previous time entered. And I'll wait for that to clear. See, now it's gone. And then I can enter the correct time. So I'm just going to stick a 2 in here and say, well, I only ended up working 2 hours. So I'll correct that time. And there we have now a 2. Let me show you again how to remove that. Simply put in a 0 and watch it disappear. It's like magic. And that's the same if you have entered the time and then you forgot to add in your overtime. So you typed in an 8 and then you forgot, oh man, I worked a half an hour early, half hour late. So you'd put a 0 in, remove the 8, put in your 9 or whatever the number is. Okay, so that's simply how you enter your time. The Mondays before payday, which is Friday, is when we want to make sure our time has been entered. So we do what's called approved time card. And if I click on that, I have a pop-up here that says approved time card. I understand that I'm approving my time card for the selected pay period. The checkbox is there, confirm approval of time card, and then select OK to approve this card for this pay period. I'm going to hit cancel though. Next, I'm going to show you how to request time off. We have 3 options over here: request full day, request partial day, and request consecutive days. Pretty self-explanatory. Let's fill out the paperwork though. So here we have request full day. Wait for the pop-up. Okay. The first section is the date. Select the day you will be absent. So I'm going to go to the calendar here, and I'm going to say the 2nd of October is the day I'd like to take off. I'm going to click an OK, and now the date appears. Next section is 8 hours. Remember, this is the full day off request, so I'll leave it at 8. And then I need to select what personal time I'm using. PTO, paid time off, bereavement, jury duty, unpaid time, perfect day. What is a perfect day? Well, let me briefly pause and explain. At least once a year, sometimes we're lucky and it happens twice, our leadership team will choose a really nice day where we have done well as a company. Usually the sun is shining, and they will declare it a perfect day. And on those days at 12 o'clock noon, everybody is to drop what they're doing and leave for the rest of the day. The only rule is whatever they do cannot have anything to do with work and has to be something fun. So I hope you get to be around for one of those perfect days. The next one would be award PTO. There are times where we as employees do something pretty darn epic in the company, and the company will respond with a couple of days off or a day off or hours off for PTO. So look out for those opportunities. Now I can also see down here there are tabs where I can see what the balances are on those particular areas. Now that my form is filled out, oops, I forgot a spot, the note section. In this section, I can choose to leave a note or not, but I always like to remind myself and let my manager know what I'm taking the time off for. So in this case, I am out of town. So I would simply type in out of town, and then I would click OK. The next form is the partial day. So we'll go ahead and click that form, and we'll wait for it to load. Here we go. First field again is which day you're requesting the partial day. I'm going to say tomorrow. And portion of the shift, will it be at the beginning, the end, or in the middle? I'm going to select middle of shift in this case, and I only need 1 hour. To let you know, the minimum amount you can request off is 1 full hour. No half-hour increments or anything less than that. Okay. Once again, we're choosing the personal time, so select the appropriate one, and then you can leave a note. Easy peasy. The balances also show up on this form as well. So let's cancel that and check out the last form. All right, the last section would be requesting consecutive days. Something very important to understand when you're going to request a block of time off is to make sure that if a weekend is in there, you're going to end up filling out 2 of these forms. I made this mistake recently, and I don't want you to make the same mistake I did. It really kind of messed up payroll. What I did was I requested a Thursday through a Tuesday off, including that weekend. And that was a no-no. What I should have done was put in a request for Thursday, Friday, and another one for Monday, Tuesday, leaving the weekend out of the equation altogether. How do we do that? We simply select the dates. So let's say the 28th is when I need that starting date off, and I also need the 29th off. So that gives me 2 days, and then I want to select amount of time. I'll put in 16 because that will be 16 total work hours that I'm requesting to use for my PTO. The same fields are on here for different types of benefits that you might be taking or using the time off for. And then again, we have the option to leave a note. Last thing, the totals or balance tabs are on this form as well. All right. The last thing you want to do when you're taking care of all this is logging off. So I'm going to do that now. Thank you for watching today. If you have any questions, be sure to reach out to either your supervisor or even one of your teammates around you. They'll be sure to help. Take care.